Welcome to She Built It. I'm Melanie Barr. If you searched and asked today who the experts are in your industry, would your name come up? Would your company? More importantly, would the answer actually reflect what you've built, what you know, and what you want to be known for? The way a brand and business is discovered is changing incredibly fast. For years, we thought about visibility. Pretty simple. You wanted to rank on Google. You wanted people to follow you on social media. You wanted press. You ran ads, and all of those things still matter. But now someone can open ChatGPT or Claude or an AI platform and ask, who's leading this industry? What's the best company for this? Who should I hire? What should I know before making this decision? What are the biggest ideas shaping the space? And they can get answers without ever scrolling through links. That changes something fundamental for every CEO and business owner. Being good at what you do is no longer enough. The market has to be able to find evidence that you're good at it. This is why you should think differently about owned media. When I say owned media, I'm talking about the content and audience your company is actually building. Your website, your podcast, your videos, your YouTube channel, your newsletter, your articles, your research, your interviews, your point of view. The knowledge that your company is putting into the world. For years, businesses have treated many of these things like marketing deliverables. You need a blog. You should post on LinkedIn. Starting a podcast. We need videos. Check the box. That's not enough anymore because we're moving into a world where the body of knowledge associated with your company matters. The question isn't just, are you creating content? It's, are you creating enough meaningful, credible content for people and increasingly AI-powered discovery systems to understand what you know and why your company matters? That's a much bigger question. Reach is changing, and here's where you need to pay attention. For a long time, we built audiences on platforms that we didn't own, and we should still be there. LinkedIn can introduce you to someone new, Instagram can create a connection, TikTok can create enormous reach. But those platforms control the distribution. An algorithm changes and your reach changes with it. Owned media works differently. When you publish a substantive conversation on your podcast, put the full video on YouTube, build useful content around that conversation on your website, distribute the strongest ideas through social, bring people back into your channels that you own. You're building something that can continue to be found. Next week, 6 months from now, 3 years from now. This is the part most businesses underestimate. The best content doesn't disappear when you stop posting it. It compounds. AI makes this more important, not less. There has been so much conversation around AI making it easier to create content, and it does. But if everyone can create content faster, simply producing more isn't going to be an advantage. The opposite becomes true. When the internet is flooded with more average content, original expertise becomes more valuable. Your experience, your proprietary data, your customer knowledge, your point of view, your conversations with other leaders, the things that you have learned from actually building. AI can help organize that knowledge. It can help us research. It can help us repurpose. It can help us move faster, but it can't manufacture decades of experience you don't have. That's the asset. The question is whether you're capturing it. Your podcast is not just a podcast. It's the reason I'm so passionate about podcasting, YouTube strategy, and owned media growth for business leaders. A CEO sits down for 30 to 45 minutes and has a substantive conversation about something she actually knows. Think about what exists inside that conversation. Her ideas, her expertise, her language, her point of view, her relationships. That one conversation becomes a full video, searchable website content, short-form video, a newsletter, social content, a leadership article, something a prospective customer can discover months later. Content that helps establish what you as a leader and your company knows. That's when podcasting and video series stop being about downloads. It becomes part of the company's intellectual property and owned media. But that's why distribution matters. Creating great content and putting it somewhere isn't a growth strategy. You have to understand how people are finding it, where they are showing up, what they are watching, why they are leaving, what questions are bringing them to you, what topics consistently attract the right audience, what titles work for you, what content earns attention, and what does the audience do next. This is where the data becomes incredibly important because growth shouldn't be a strategy you create once at the beginning of the year and follow for 12 months. You learn every week. You look at the data. You see what the audience is telling you. You test, you adjust, you build on what works. And over time, you're creating more than just content. You're creating a smarter body of content around subjects your company wants to own. So, what do you want to be known for? This may be the most important question of this entire conversation. If you could own 3 conversations in your industry over the next 5 years, what would they be? Not 25, 3. What should people immediately associate with your company? What questions should lead people to you? What expertise should your leadership team be known for? Because once you're clear on that, your own media strategy becomes much more intentional. You aren't publishing because Tuesday came around again. You're building authority around something. And here's the CEO question every leader should be asking right now. If the way your customer discovers information changed dramatically over the next 3 years, are you building enough authority today to still be a part of that discovery? Because the goal isn't to chase every new platform. It's actually the opposite. Build a body of knowledge. Build an audience, build authority, create original ideas worth finding. Then use search, YouTube, podcasting, email, and AI-powered discovery to help the right people find it. The platforms will change. They always do. But the expertise you've documented, the relationships you've built, the audiences you've earned, the intellectual property your company owns will continue to grow in value. And that's one of the most important shifts you should understand about AI. AI isn't making your voice less important. It's making it more important that your voice exists somewhere it can be found. I'll leave you with this. If someone went looking for the very thing your company does best today, would they find it? And if the answer isn't what you wanted it to be, what are you going to start building now, and how can I support you? I'll see you next week.